Hey, welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have you here. If you're new to the lunch stream and wondering what is this is where we hang out with you good folks for the next hour, talk some shop on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We'll do a roster review. We'll answer your questions. If you do have questions, go ahead and get those questions submitted. Make sure you put the term question in front of your statement. It just helps us scoop it up faster. And we will try to read all, if not all, as many as we can at the end of the stream, like we always do. But we always like to have fun here, so we have a great group of people that will be here doing that. I think Dr. Finn, are you there? Or are you still in your meeting?
I'm here.
Oh, look, everybody, it's Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, the Troll Extraordinaire.
Howdy, howdy.
And also joining us, we have from across the pond, the one and only Mike Hunt, who apparently does not want to respond.
Yes, I do. I was driving.
Oh, okay, you focused on driving, then don't do that.
Okay.
Also joining us is Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going?
Howdy. And last but not least, we have the Brown Gandalf himself, the beardless one, the guy with the government Wi-Fi stealer, the French tickler, the chicken chaser, Grande Patronus here. So many names.
I'm telling you.
Across the world, they all mean
I'm telling you.
It's he's known throughout the land in many different forms and guises.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. It's you know. So a couple notes. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. It really does help us get the content out to the rest of the YouTube world. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. It does help us with monetization and things of that nature. Also, let you know when we're streaming. We stream a lot of live stuff. We're going to be doing some more Chewy stuff today where I get stomped, raffle stomped. Yeah, pretty much is what it is. I just sit there and I go into the battle. They all die. Then I redo it again. So, if you didn't see last night, we did do the Chewy event. Finn got his 7-star Chewy. I only got a 6-star Chewy. So we'll be back at it again tonight. It should be fun. Finn may even do some modding for me. That should be great. And then we'll try to attack it again. But if you haven't checked out our Patreon, please do. If you'd like to become a Patreon sponsor because you love the content and like to support us, everything we get from Patreon and YouTube goes back into the channel. And we try to keep making bigger and better stuff for you guys. So if you'd like to support us that way, you can. We also have the GoFundMe. We are running a half marathon in April in Orlando, Florida. We started our GoFundMe, the first stage of raising all the money we're going to need for this event. And that is for travel. We have to take care of our travel expenses. Some live further away than others, so we're trying to raise a total of $3,000. We have a GoFundMe set up. We raised some of it last night. We're going to try to raise some more tonight. So if you'd like to support us in that endeavor, we are running for the American Cancer Society, so we will be raising money for them. So first stage 1, collect underpants. Stage 3, make money for charity. But right now we're in stage 1. And so if you'd like to support us in that endeavor, please check out our GoFundMe. If you'd like to donate, you can. If you donate $25 and you would like Finn to do a mod review of 5 of your characters, you can do that. He's offered those services. Or you can just give because you want to see us do it. I think that's all the mechanisms. Did I miss anything, Dr. Finn?
We're gonna have 2 streams tonight, right?
Yes,
so
we have
one is yours.
Yeah.
Don't cross them.
Other than you have your camera on.
Who has your camera on?
You do.
I don't care. I just woke up, man.
Good morning, people. There's Ranger.
It's hot. I'm tired. I've been running my ass off. I don't care.
I know that feeling. My legs are killing me, man.
Got up this morning and I did like I always do. I ran my ass off. I'll do my regular workout this afternoon, and you get done and you just throw everything off, and you're just like, I don't care. I am tired. I am sick of running. So there you go. Shirtless Ranger.
And if you want to see more Shirtless Ranger, donate to our GoFundMe account.
So
oh, Jesus,
you can see the weight loss I'm having because it's just the pounds are coming off me.
That Hasselhoff's so hot right now.
Nah, I wish.
He's doing the swallow workout plan.
Yeah. So I am been shirtless. But yeah.
There's always something new on the lunch stream
Hey,
for you.
there you go. Yes, I'm trying to still cool off. I'm drinking gallons of water and stuff. So don't worry, I'll be punishing myself after the stream to go do some more working out. Half marathon running, here I come. So, all right. We have a roster review today, so let me go ahead and pull that up. We got Hot Rod's profile. Let's see here. He is in Empire Reaper, and let's see here. What are they looking for today for Hot Rod there, Dr. Finn?
So he's trying to figure out where he should go with his next Zetas. He has Jedi Training Ray coming up soon, so he wants to know if he should save it or spend it. And then also what to do with Cantina, because he wants to change his squad arena. So we're looking at arena.
Yeah.
And
team doesn't work, doesn't synergize.
Ew. Yeah. CLS and GK on an EP-led team.
All right. Let's see here. So you said something about Cantina, or JTR was the first one. Right?
He wants to know what to do in the Cantina, just in terms of farming and stuff. There's a lot of characters and stuff in there, but Zetas, Arena, and then just farming plan. Those are the three.
Nodes 6 and 7, KOTOR.
Well, hold on. We need to fix his arena, don't we, first?
Yeah.
I just resolved his Cantina problem.
His Scion is 4-star Gear 8. Yeah.
So are we doing Zetas first, or
let's do Arena first, because that'll probably help dictate his Zetas, right?
Yeah.
So let's focus on where you think we should go with his Arena team.
Is his Palp seated?
Yes, double Zetas.
Double? Ooh. It's born Sithy then, isn't it?
Yeah, let's look at his Sith, because I'm trying to look at his Sith, but
GG's being as responsive as normal, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, for God's sakes.
I'm pulling up the Sith. So, Grim mentioned it. So, his Scion, 4-star, Gear 8, so needs to work on that. Nihilus is Gear 9, 7-star, so needs to work on that. Vader's Gear 12. Palpatine is Gear 12, so he's good on those. So, he has those, and then a Thrawn. His Thrawn is Gear 12 with the Zeta.
I mean, he can get away with running GK on an EP lead until he can get Scion up.
But you need Nihilus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would work on
Nihilus is a must-have.
Nihilus is Gear 9. We got to get him to Gear 11.
Now, what he may be using Sith Trooper for, CLS for, which I have seen, is that you put CLS in there for another buff immunity, so that if you're facing a Traya team with a Sith Trooper, you have two characters that can remove the buffs. And so you prevent the taunting with the CLS, and you remove at least a taunt. You may not prevent it because Traya's lead or unique removes debuffs, but then also Thrawn with the fracture. If you run that team, you don't have any offense here otherwise, and so you would want to put in Nihilus instead of Kenobi and try to do it without a tank if you go this route. You'd be going with a speed build rather than a taunting build. So just something to consider there. On defense, you could substitute out CLS and put in Nihilus. On offense, you can substitute out Kenobi and go with the CLS on offense if that's the reason that you're facing that particular squad. So I think your direction should be moving towards Sith, and working on Nihilus and Scion would be your top priorities right now.
What's his nest like?
Let's see. I'll go to his scoundrels.
I'm just thinking, because Nest is another good one to...
3-star Gear 5.
Okay. I didn't ask that question.
Yeah, so I think you're building a lot of the right characters. I don't have any issues with the characters you have at Gear 11 or Gear 12. I think your next ones are going to have to be your Sith, though. because you do want to have your Sith team ready to go. Grim, do you happen to know if Empire Reaper is currently doing heroic Sith?
Yes, I think they are doing heroic Sith. I can double check real quick.
Okay. Because if they are, then obviously you really want to work on Nihilus and Scion, because then as soon as you get Traya, you want to get that triumvirate together. So that's even more incentive to work on. So I think all things are pointing towards working on Nihilus and Scion, getting their gear up, specifically Nihilus first, because you need a substitute into your current team, and then afterwards you can work on Scion. And I think that would make your difference in Arena once you get that team. In terms of Zetas, different thought processes on the different Zetas. Scion and Nihilus are both interesting because they are both Zetas that have a good side and a bad side. So Nihilus, for example, his debuff automatically goes when the other team goes. Good thing, if you're running an Emperor Palpatine team, your Nihilus is going to be dispelled as a result of Treya's unique, and once it's dispelled, then your team is constantly getting turn meter. So it's a really nice ability with an Emperor Palpatine. Downside is that if you're facing other triumvirates, you're putting a debuff on, and that's increasing all of these different other things that are going on. Whether it's increased offense, increased health, primarily it's increased health and turn meter on the opposing Nihilus that you're afraid of. And so there is a downside to the Nihilus Zeta. What does that mean? That means it's not mandatory. I won't say that is bad. I also won't say it's good. It's just not mandatory. If you have it, you can make use of it. If you don't have it, you don't need it. So in terms of Zetas, both of them, Scion is similar. Scion has a really good Zeta against most teams. And it's that whenever he's attacked, you can then put pain on them, and when they have pain, they're forced to attack you. What's the downside? It makes you vulnerable to Magma Trooper, because Magma Trooper with Thrawn lead is the counter to it. Now, with your GP, and I'm trying to see what your guild GP is, and the guild GP is 129. So at the range of 130 GP, 130 million GP, you're probably not facing a lot of people that are able to use the Magma Trooper team. So for a while, that Scion Zeta will probably not be bad for you. But as you get higher, it will be bad for you, and you can't undo Zetas unless they rework Zombie and then they refund your DACA. So unless there's specific situations, you're not going to be able to refund that Zeta. So something to consider as to whether or not you want to or don't want to Zeta Scion. I'd be okay if you actually didn't Zeta both of them, as long as you geared them up and modded them. And so I don't know if Grim, you've looked at his mods to see if they're at least focused on his current arena squad.
I haven't yet. I was in the Empire Discord asking about the heroic Sith, but I think Reaper is doing it right now.
Okay.
So he's probably on his way to getting Traya.
Good. So yeah. So then in that case, you're definitely moving in the right direction, and I think you're good there. Zeta wise, I'm looking at your teams here, and I mean, is there something that stands out as a missing Zeta? So he has double Zeta Asajj, he has 2 Zetas on CLS, 2 Zetas on Palpatine, 2 Zetas on R2, he has Roll with the Punches, he has Boba Fett's, which is maybe unnecessary, but it's not bad. He has Finn Lead, he has General Veers, he has Thrawn, and he has Han Solo. I know he said he was potentially saving his Zetas for Jedi Training Rey. Looking at what he has, I have no issue with him saving for Jedi Training Rey.
Yeah, for lead, so that makes that team viable. Yeah, that's a totally fine Zeta to save for JTR, because he already has the Zeta on BB-8, so that just locks in the team. 2 on R2.
The other one maybe that I'm seeing, he has a 7-star gear 9 Hermit Yoda. If you can get him to gear 10, then Strength Flows might be a Zeta you want as well. It's another solid Zeta that you can utilize on a lot of different teams, especially if you're looking at Heroic Sith in any way, shape, or form. So Hermit Yoda, potentially another Zeta. Let's take a look at his Jedi. Okay, so he doesn't have super strong Jedi to run the Bastila team, but even then, the Hermit Yoda Zeta is a good Zeta. I'm not seeing anything else right now that I would say he really needs to get. He has his first order is too far behind, so I'm not going to be worried about the first order. His Night Sisters, if he wanted to, could put a Zeta on Talzin Unique, but again, you want to gear up your Talzin a little bit more. Talzin's only gear 8. So if you want to do the Talzin Unique, that's perfectly fine as well. I wouldn't bother with the DACA anymore. Yeah, I mean that's probably your choices. So definitely save one for Jedi Training Rey, and then you have a couple of options, I think, with your second Zeta.
Yeah, just looking at his bounty hunters for that event that is the Chewbacca.
He looks like he has a Ranger level bounty hunter squad.
No, mine are higher. But that's not saying much.
He has a Zeta on Boba.
Yeah, I do not have the Zeta on Boba. I have the Zeta on Bosk. I have a Zeta. I just don't have any Omegas, but I'm saving mine for Chewie. I'm
jealous of this dude's mods. They're on his arena team, which is good, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 20 or 20 plus speed secondary mods.
Very nice. And I can see he has a lot of gold at the top.
5 times.
Yeah. He has a lot of gold at the top, so he's been slicing.
Yeah.
Man's been slicing. Good man.
Slicing good.
Yeah, so he's doing well with your mods. Your mods are looking good. You'll want to shift a little bit from CLS to Nihilus if you switch over to that team. So that's just something else to consider there. But that being said, so his characters are good. Jedi Training Rey is going to be that. And so with the current state of the game, what would you suggest that he farms? With where he is, what things may come? What are you?
Well,
what do you think?
there's a couple.
He needs Scion more than KOTOR right now.
Well, Scion's going to be when he farms.
He's not ready for KOTOR yet. That's a late game farm because we don't know what it is, and it's too.
I know, but
guessy game. So I wouldn't worry about KOTOR.
Well, we know. Yeah,
except maybe Basil.
You know, there's a lot of different directions.
For a loop with OG Chewie.
They really did. Nobody saw this one coming, and so they threw in all these solo characters, and we're thinking, Jesus, we better start farming the hell out of these because they wouldn't just release them like this, and that's got to be the next event. And then, you know, all of a sudden, it's like.
So to be honest, who knows what's coming next?
Yeah, I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know if it's going to be KOTOR or we don't even know if they're going to do anything with the solo characters, right?
The other thing too that's kind of a little bit challenging now is they basically increased the gear tier 1 or 2 on these new legendary characters that are coming out. So no longer can you say, "Oh, get them to gear 8," and you know you can make it happen.
No, they
it's more like get them to gear 10.
And 7 stars.
And with a couple and 7 stars, but it's not just gear 8 anymore and 7. It's more like gear 10 and 7.
I might caution on going that far, though. I think you're right that we can't assume gear 8 anymore since this came out. But again, if we look at the legendary event itself for this one, it includes like day 1 characters, right? So that was one of the big things, and they could have increased the difficulty as a result of that. Now, the next one may be KOTOR. We're all panic farming that. Maybe that one is back to gear 8 difficulty, right?
So it doesn't totally include day 1 characters. You cannot make a group of 5 with day 1.
Right, mostly. Not only, but mostly. You can have 4 of your 5 being day 1 characters or very close to day 1 characters. Dengar and Zam came out a while ago. They're not day 1, but they came out a while ago. Only Boss and later on. So it's possible, and I'm saying I don't know what their thought process is, but it's possible that the difficulty was increased because some of the bounty hunters were very easily accessible and too much of the community had the bounty hunters to do the events already. And so instead of having it kind of as a check to see whether or not you have the characters at the appropriate star levels and a reasonable gear, too many people had it at the star level. So like, okay, we'll compensate by increasing the difficulty, which I have no issue with.
I don't have an issue with either. But I do agree. But the caution I'm trying to make is that after this event, we cannot just say that it's a rarity check every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't make that assumption anymore. So.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? What else do we need to look at for this roster review there, Dr. Finn?
Well, that's it. So we talked about Arena, we talked about the Zetas, and then what he should do farming wise. So
yeah. I mean, overall, a really good roster. You can tell that he's hit the right pieces, and he's working.
I mean, because we discussed KOTOR, right? But his first order isn't there yet. So do we want him to do first order over KOTOR?
Yeah,
I mean, his Imperial Troopers are pretty good.
Well,
but,
his first order is. It's not bad.
He's already got BB-8.
Yeah, so
he has them 7-star, but he doesn't have them gear, right? So they may not need farming, but they need a lot.
I would say, I mean, for farm wise, other than Scion, right? He's kind of open a little bit because he's farmed a ton of these characters already. You could work on Bastila as a hard node, right? You got Bastila, you got Scion, but Scion you can get out of Fleet. You can start looking at maybe doing some of the KOTOR characters. Pick a faction. If you're gonna go solo, go solo. If you're gonna go KOTOR, go KOTOR. You can't do them both unless you're gonna just well out. I mean, even then, it's like that's ridiculous farm. So
I'm just thinking that the KOTOR could put him ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I kind of like that, Mike. Because solo, we don't know what's going on with that. But if you. For me, I'm about to finish Kira. I didn't get her 7-star today, but she'll be 7-star tomorrow. And then I'm going all in on the KOTOR tunes. I've been farming the solo tunes, and they're all 5-star up. So they're at least 5 stars. Young Han's done. Kira will be done. It'll be the other 3. I'm still working on FS, but I'll go hardcore into the KOTOR tunes. Just why not? Because I think that KOTOR, though, they're going to be used for something. But pick one. We can't guarantee you that we don't know what the next Legendarium is going to be for any of these groups of characters. So it's a roll of the dice. I really can't give you... What's that, Mike?
It'll be another Han. We don't have enough Han.
Yeah, it'll be Black Jacket Han.
Empire Strikes Back Han.
And he'll have a ship.
And I look really good in that black jacket.
It just won't be the Falcon.
All right. Hot Rod, if you have any questions, then you know where to find us. We'll be more than glad to help you out with specifics. So get with us anytime you want in our Discord. And we encourage everybody to come to our Discord and hang out with us. We got a great community there. So a lot of great knowledge of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Water does taste good after you run. I just throwing that out there. And coffee. I need some more coffee.
Especially if it's brewed with hops.
No, I haven't. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I gave up soda. I gave up all that crap. It's just water and a little bit of coffee.
Especially if it starts with the letter G and is made in Ireland.
None of that.
Delicious
champions.
Delicious foamy water.
It does taste a little bit better after you get done running. But I gotta have something, so I drink coffee.
I'm telling you, I'm addicted to that sparkling ice water stuff. That stuff is
delicious.
Awesome.
It tastes delicious.
Oh
God. All right.
Do pitch black.
All right, so let's get into some questions there.
Well, before we get into questions, it's Friday. You know what we do on Friday.
Is Sainley here? I didn't see him in...
You do that on camera?
Sainley's not here, but I have come up with 3 to try and stay.
Oh, you're stepping up for Sainley.
I'm stepping up for Sainley because he's done it for us when we do the questions and stuff. So I'm going to try and step in for Sainley. So I have three redheads for you today. And guess that Ginger!
Yeah!
All right. So,
actually, to go back to Hot Rod real quick, he just replied to me saying that Reaper isn't doing Heroic Sith.
Oh, wow.
So
okay. So still work on those same characters. There's no you can still work on those same characters, right? And then eventually, when you do get to heroic Sith, they'll be ready. But Sion and Traya with that Emperor Palpatine, Vader, and Thrawn team will be the team that you want to run in Arena. Probably both offense and defense. And if you need CLS, then you can sub him in. But for the most part, that team should cover you.
Cool. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but yeah.
No, that's perfectly fine. We needed to know. All right. So let's play Guess That Ginger. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 3 of you. Mike, are you ready? Is Mike here?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do the first one. Scientology may have destroyed her life.
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, we said it at the same time.
That was Mike, right? 5 points for Mike.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. We said it at the same time, but you know what? I'll be the gentleman.
Okay. Well, that was easy. So the next ones were a tiny version of her ex-husband annoyed Stewie. If you guys didn't see that episode of
Lois?
Tiny Tom Cruise. No, Tiny Tom Cruise.
Oh.
No. I'm giving the other clue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A tiny version of her ex-husband annoyed Stewie. Tiny Tom Cruise was one of my favorite episodes. And then the last one, Australian actress that seduced Val Kilmer in Batman Forever.
Is that Nicole Kidman?
Yeah. I'm giving the other clue.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Okay.
I,
So now
I'm with you.
here's the next one. And I have to say, okay, so here's the first one. May have destroyed Suits.
May have destroyed Suits, as in the TV show, or you're talking like...
It's for you to figure out. 5 seconds.
Never watched Suits.
It's the actress, and I can't
Okay,
think of her name.
so next clue. This Brit was deployed to Afghanistan.
Oh, Prince Harry?
Harry.
There you go. This one was Ranger. It was Prince Harry.
Boo.
And that
I'll be
was
the
because he married Meghan Markle. So he may have destroyed Sue.
Shut up, Meg. I wonder if he ever says that.
Shut up, Meg.
And the last clue for Prince Harry was may eventually be king, but has a grandma, a father, and a brother in the war.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ranger has 3 points. Mike has 5 points. You have one more. Okay. So, first clue. Was in the movie Friends with Benefits.
Justin Trouser Snake.
There's just no one to respond to that. 5 seconds.
Eric
All right.
Stoltz? I guess.
Next clue. Maybe Red Bull's favorite redhead.
Sean White.
There you go. Grim got
Oh, there you
The
go.
snowboarder.
it. Yep. So that was the last clue. The last clue was Olympian snowboarder.
Ah. Very nice.
All right.
So that has been another exciting episode of Guess That Ginger.
With the winner being Mike with 5 points today, Ranger with 3,
Woohoo!
and Grim with 3.
Yeah.
Shut up, Meg.
I kind of want to see Queen Elizabeth just say that to her. That would be the coolest thing. Forget Harry.
No, then it'd be Meg. One should shut up.
Okay.
We are not amused.
All right. First question from Kazekage Too Easy. Question, Ranger, are you naked?
No, I'm wearing my still got my red
Correct
shorts
answer is,
on.
what did you like to know?
Oh no.
Donate to the
Oh
GoFundMe.
yeah. What did you like to
Figure
know?
out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I
What did
still
you
got
like to
my
know?
running
Donate to the
stuff on it.
GoFundMe and you may get an answer.
It's so freaking humid and crap here.
All right.
God.
Next question. Next question from Captain Obvious. Is Ranger doing the Kylo workout plan? Because it looks like it's working.
I've been working out really hard.
That's a compliment,
Don't ask him
man.
to show you the dark side.
That's actually a
Whatever you do.
compliment. I'll take
I
that.
know.
Will.
That's
You
a
should
huge
have your
compliment.
pants up like over your belly button.
Oh, well, no, they're shorts. No, my balls would explode from the tightness. I'm not doing that to those. the running shorts, not the samurai pants he was wearing. That would not work.
All right. Next question. Neo Venom 3. Is anyone having trouble switching between the different stages on the fleet table? It won't let me switch between the stages. What the? Who's going to the bathroom? Oh, and hold on. Now I have to do territory battle stuff.
Oh,
I'm home.
Mike's making for tea.
I'm making tea. Yes. Who wants tea?
You know, there's this thing called mute. Why do you mute when you don't need to mute, Mike, and then when you need to mute, you don't?
Shut up, Meg.
Dutch door action going on here. Ridiculous. All right, what was the question again, Finn?
Hold on. The question was, is anyone having trouble switching between the different stages on the fleet table? It won't let me switch between the stages when I press the stage numbers. I've autoed through the characters, so I haven't seen it, but not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'll let me try in a second here. I just got to get everyone to deploy. Alright, so if I go to the fleet table... no, I'm switching through it okay. I'm not sure what exactly the issue is, but no, I'm not having any issue with the fleet table. Next question, Andrew Sweeney question. I have 2 Zetas. Should I put them both on Chewie? If not, which one is the priority? Depends what other Zetas you need, but the priority on Chewie is Loyal Friend.
Well, they're not really required though.
Loyal Friend, I think,
still
is required.
badass without them.
If you don't recover the health and protection, he's gonna die to Traya. I don't think it would work without that Zeta. You don't need the other one for sure. The cooldown ability and that one, it just might slow it down. But I'm not sure.
Doesn't one help proc the other? So you can kind of permanently use both specials. Or have I got that wrong?
Well, no, they're both unique. His Zetas are both unique.
Yeah.
And so his Loyal Friend is that whenever he deals damage, all guarded allies recover health and protection. And so you then heal everyone that may have attacked out of turn, primarily, which is going to be Han Solo, right? So it actually gives them survival against that Traya team. You just need to load them up on health and protection and whatnot. But you do need to mod them correctly. So I would say Loyal Friend is the one that you want, but you don't have to do either of them. Grim is correct. You don't have to. Loyal Friend is really good, though, depending on where you're using it. And the other thing is that you don't really need Raging Wookiee. Raging Wookiee is a very specific one, basically, to counter Nihilus.
Everyone needs a Raging Wookiee.
God. Next question is for Ski Trooper. Question. I have a Gear 12 Boba, Gear 11 Dengar, and 88, Gear 10 Zam, and Greedo. I can beat 6-star, but I cannot touch 7-star. Is it worth it to Zeta Boba? Any chance that will actually help? Will it help? Yes. Will it mean that you can beat it? Probably not going to matter. It's going to be an RNG play. I've seen worse teams than the one you have beat it. So, unfortunately, RNG.
Yeah.
RNG.
Like Finn got really lucky when he beat it last night, because there are people that were running the same team as Finn and having to do it like 100 times to beat it because RNG just didn't roll for them.
That's right. Okay. Next question from Dennis. I'm going to say it wrong. Horth. Hjorth. Horth. Question. If you had to set a team containing Gar Saxon, which 4 would you choose and who would you pick as lead? Interesting.
Gar Saxon, huh?
So I would definitely put Gar Saxon in lead if I had to create a team with him.
Unless you're going against the Days squad.
Right, unless you're going against the Day Squad. That's right. But his leader is, and I know Urban loves it, his leader is really good with the 50% counter chance.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Stick in Super Pooper, because if you Omega him, he double taps, which means that if he's countering, Gar will go more.
I'm wondering if the team wouldn't have to be full Empire. If you put a Gar Saxon lead with Imperial Super Commando, right? But then you put in a Han and a Chewie,
The best
You can
one,
get a guard. You can get a guard up.
best one
One of
would
them?
be Gar and 4 Imperial troopers. One of them being Veers.
Sure,
And then if you,
range trooper.
I'd actually go Stormtrooper. I just like Stormtrooper chucks out a huge amount of damage. Plus, he can put up the expose if they avoid.
A good point.
So they avoid, and then everyone else mutters, whoever it was. Personally, it would be Garlead, Veers, Stark, Snowy, and Storm.
I'm thinking Gar. If you can make Gar weak enough and get him with a guard, and then you trigger it with his, because all Gar's unique is that whenever another ally attacks during an enemy's turn, so if somebody counterattacks, then Gar Saxon is going to assist 100% of the time. And so if you can force the guard on Gar Saxon, right? Gar Saxon will then use his basic as a counterattack and then trigger Chewie.
I might try that.
So I'm thinking it's a team with Gar Saxon. You can put Imperial Super Commando, then Han, Chewie. So now you get all this pull from Chewie. You may not even need Han on the team. And then maybe a shore trooper. I mean, that might be... It's a pretty interesting team. I'm kind of liking the idea of a Gar Saxon with a bunch of people that counterattack now. Oh, Enfys. There we go. Gar Saxon, Imperial Super Commando, Han, Chewie, and Enfys Nest. That's the team.
Yeah.
So you got 2 debuffers in Super
Counterattack,
Pooper and
spells,
Nest.
everything you need on that team.
Yeah.
There you go. And he said his name is pronounced Jork. Okay, there you go. Dennis Jork. All right. So then, next question. I like that question. Next question, Paul Morgan. If all of the free-to-play bounty hunters are gear 7 and 8, do I have enough time to gear them 7 for 7-star Chewie? If not, what bounty hunters should I be gearing? What are you spending in order to gear? Is the question.
Yeah, at gear 7 and gear 8, you're gonna end up having to whale out.
Or like every day for the week, you have to spend all of your fleet crystals and all of your squad crystals. You may not get your 600. You focus everything on trying to get gear. I mean, you may be able to get them. They require like stun cuffs and carbantes and stun guns.
Let's just look at this. It's ridiculous.
And syringes.
Now, I just got Greedo to. I just got. Huh?
Little bit of Ranger anger coming with all the gear that you have to do.
Well, yeah, I've got. So you can see I've got 4 bounty hunters, 11 plus, right? Greedo, Bosk, and Boba Fett, IG-88 are gear 11 plus. But Greedo took, just to get him to gear 11, so many stun cuffs, I thought I was going to prison. I'm just throwing that out there. Stun guns and Corbantes for Dengar, just to get him to gear 10. That's 200 right there. That's not even counting what it took to get him to gear 8 to gear 9. I'm not even talking about either Zam or Cad Bane, who each need a Corbante or just a regular stun cuff to get to gear 9. It is a buttload of gear.
Or you're gonna end up with Wells Fargo with eyes like a fat person looking at fried food.
Yeah, you're gonna end up turning into Wells Fargo's best customer.
Yeah, I was able to get a 6-star Chewie. Don't get me wrong, that's still pretty decent, but I want 7 stars. So what are my options? Well, I can keep gearing, which I'm going to do. I'm going to try to focus heavily farming the snot out of Bosk. That's really my only option. Just try to get his shards. Now, 25 did pop up in the weekly one, but I'm going to have to get first a lot this weekend, and I don't even know if it's still going to be close. Because I think it's just so much easier with Bosk, with the Zeta Bosk. It is. So if I can get which I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. Well, Bimatsu said today, Finn, that if I stream today and suffer, you would buy me a pack. Oh God.
What?
You know what he said.
What, about me remodding characters for you?
No. But last night, if I streamed tonight, he would buy another pack.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
I still say that money is better spent going into the GoFundMe.
Well,
but it's up to Bimatsu.
No, Bimatsu, help me help you, because hours and hours. I know you guys enjoyed in my tears.
That allows for more streams for fundraiser. Just saying.
So help Ranger get Bosco. Jesus Christ. But without Bosk, I'm stuck with, IG-88, Boba Fett, Dengar, Greedo, and then either Sam or Cad Bane. The problem is they're not tanky enough. We tried doing remodding yesterday. They do survive a lot more with potency, but, it's ridiculous how many times that team will go before you go. And I was using some God mods yesterday, Bounty Hunter's all above 250 speed and all this other crap, and it's just like... And I died. So it's a gear check. It's a star check. It's a lot of things.
Well, that's the thing, though, is
and it's a character check.
I think one of the data miners, the speeds on that the Chewy team are 325 plus on all of them. So
how much?
325 speed on each of them.
Yeah, I mean, my mods are really good, but I don't know if I can get them because a lot of the bounty hunters are slow as balls, dude. God.
Yeah, they are.
So
except for Django. Django's not bad, but he's also behind a paywall.
Right? Yeah, Django's not happening, or is not happening. Embo's not happening. So I got to work with the 7 that I have right now, and. I'm determined. I'm going to try the farm.
Just picture it in your head. Oh
no, I'm doing Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, okay. You're going Eye of the Tiger. Rising up, back on the street. Okay. We gotta go to the next question before we continue this nonsense. We'll sing it on the actual stream. All right. Next question.
I can't believe Finn is back on the street with his pork and his will to survive. All right, there we go.
All right. Next one is from Sith Gorilla. Question: What happened to Sanely? Feels like he hasn't been on here in a while.
Sanely just has
school.
Yeah. He's been really busy with school, and it's understandable. So,
keep in mind, we're not
his soul is here with us, but he doesn't have one to begin with, so can't really say that.
Nope. His lack of soul is here with us.
Right.
Spirit, kinda. It's tormenting us. But yeah, so I mean, keep in mind, this isn't our full-time job. If it was, that would be pretty awesome. But we're not there yet. So we're doing this kind of in between work and school and all other kinds of things. So. So he has a bunch of schoolwork right now, and so he has to take a little bit of a step back, but he'll be back soon. Don't worry. All right. Next question, Camille Buhowski. Question: Just installed Battlefront 2. Can I be your Padawan Ranger?
Yeah, anytime I'm playing and you want to join me, you're more than welcome to come hop along. When I log in, just log in, make me your friend, and I can add you, and you can come hopping along. That's what it's for.
All right. Next question from Abul Abad. Question: What time is McVenom's roster review? I'm confirming with her, but it should be, I think, at 8 p.m. Yeah, I think we're planning at 8 p.m. So the times for the streams tonight, Ranger will be doing his at 5 p.m.
Yep.
And we'll probably run all the way to McVenom's roster review.
Yeah, just believe that. Here, let's have a sneak peek. Let me go into the event and just show what happens when a Ranger goes in. Here's a sneak tease of what will happen when Ranger goes in. Now, I took all the mods off yesterday, so... All right, we're going in. Well, now, why did we take IG-88 out? Put his monkey ass back in there.
And we're already starting great. Okay, so next question.
Here we go. I'm going in. This is a preview of what's going to happen to Ranger tonight.
IG-88's quite squishy, though, isn't he?
It's awful, but...
The attempt that I won, I just switched out IG-88 for Cad Bane, and that was the attempt that I won.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cad's nice, because Cad does the stun.
All right, here we go. All right, let's see how bad it's going to be. I don't have any good mods on. Let's see what happens. Okay, they're going to go first. Okay, Chewie, Aurora.
Go first, second, third.
Let's see what happens. Okay, right for Boba Fett. Okay. Oh no, they went right for Dengar. Okay, and Dengar's down already. Fantastic. All right. Oh, and there goes Cad Bane. And I haven't gone yet. All right, so I'm down to 2. All right, it's just Boba Fett. It's just Boba Fett. Nobody else. Let's just end this. And he's dead. And then coming back in. Oh, he's stunned now. And they're just wailing on him because he can't go. And it's over.
Oh, you need to have Harry Carey commentary on these fights, man. Where's Harry?
Well, I don't like to kick a man down, but screw it.
So this is going to be pretty fun. It was this pretty much for the last hour and a half of the stream yesterday.
Hey, tonight's stream will be brought to you by alcoholism. But if I should Ranger trying to open up these legendary events with these weak-ass sauce characters, try alcoholism. It's what he does.
Oh my god. There's just nothing. Oh my god. Okay. So McVenom's roster review at 8 p.m. today. And if you guys weren't aware, so typically that's only available to people that are Patreons of the purple or gold level. But if you donate $20 to the GoFundMe in order to help us get to Orlando for the charity run, make sure when you give the $20, you put in the comment that you're doing it for the Tits McVenom ticket. And I will be sending out those the links to the events and everything a little bit later. I just tagged all the VIPs and whatnot that are getting it, and then I'll do the same for those of you that purchased it with the GoFundMe. So you have an opportunity to watch that as well. All right. Next question is from Octave Connections, who's in my guild, RSG Sai. Woot woot. Question: do you need insanely fast speeds for a Treya team? No. In fact,
well, not insanely, but relatively.
Yeah. In fact, if your Treya is too fast, it'll mess up your entire sequence of events. So it's interesting. So I did have some Treya was fast and it was set up properly before mod slicing, and then since slicing, all of my speeds are messed up. That's why I'm waiting a couple more weeks to finish more slicing before I remod characters. But my Treya is actually too fast because she is too close in speed to my Nihilus. And typically, you need to make sure your Nihilus is going before your Treya. And so Treya, you do want to have a speed arrow. You do want speed secondaries and all that. But Treya primarily needs to make sure she has a lot of offense. Whether it's offense primary on the triangle, offense primary on the cross. Offense works a little bit better for her than critical damage just because her crit chance is fairly low. And so Treya, you want to focus on offense with secondary speed, get her quick, but she doesn't need to be one of the fastest characters. But because most of her, I think all of her damage is special damage, her crit chance is low, so critical damage doesn't work. She gets stacking offense, so everything works in her favor for offense. So she doesn't have to be super fast.
It's the eye of attack. I'm sorry, I'm still in my mode.
Next question, Camille Buhowski. Question: considering Jedi Training Rey event will be within the next 2 to 3 weeks, is it wise to just go nuts and overgear Scavenger Rey? I'll need her gear 12 anyways for the Sith raid, right? No.
She'll put out more damage, obviously.
Yeah, but you can do it with Visas or Hermit Yoda or Barris as well. As you go down that list, it requires more RNG, but you can do it without Scavenger Rey. She is a gear whore from 11 to 12. It's awful.
Yeah. Do they have the gear put aside for JTR? Because why? I know it's horse before cart sort of thing, but you're going to be really frustrated if you unlock her and then find that you've just slapped all the gear that she wants onto all your other tunes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about Scavenger Rey. You can gear her if you want. You don't have to gear her for the Hero's Journey. The Hero's Journey so far, again, they can always change things like they did with the Legendaries. But Jedi Training Rey, I think at this point has been pretty established. I would be surprised if they changed it at all. For this event, if they change it for the next new event for whatever it is, that would be more reasonable. But for Jedi Training Rey, and as it was for CLS, The events are not a huge gear check. They have been primarily a check to see whether or not you have characters at 7-star. And then a lot of it is just kind of really cool plot and story that you work through in order to get the character unlocked. And pretty much Gear 8 or Gear 7 has been able to get people through that. It has not been gear intensive in the past.
Yeah, it's been entertaining in the past.
Yeah.
Because we get to watch Ranger fight against Thrawn for 6 hours.
Yep,
but
that's
like
legendary.
For this one, it's like watching Ranger put his head against a cheese grater. It's not entertaining.
It's creamy.
Yeah, so heroes' journeys typically have not been very difficult. Legendaries have been a little bit more of a gear check. And so those ones required 8 or 9 previously. Now it's around Gear 11 that is kind of checking for, although RNG can get you something lower. But yeah, I would not gear it simply for... I would not simply gear it just for the Jedi Training Ray event. And depending on your roster, you may have better uses for your gear other than Gear 12 and Scavenger Ray. So it just depends on your roster.
I just had a scary thought. Imagine the next freaking hero's journey or hero's fall or something like that, where the final tier will need you to have full Gear 12 plus characters with God mods.
I don't think they'll do that for hero's journey.
Turn meter. Because they're all about increasing the difficulty to make it not fun.
I think they're doing it for legendaries. I think they're trying to make it challenging for the legendaries. I don't think they're going to do that for the hero's journey.
Well, there's a difference between challenging and fun challenging.
I know, but hero's journeys have never been intended, I think, to be challenging as far as I can remember. Like, we've never really concerned ourselves with the gear on the hero's journeys. It's always been the legendary. And legendary has always been trying to minimize it, and that was the whole Thrawn event too. I suspect they're going to continue to increase the difficulty on the legendaries. I'm hoping they don't do that with the hero's journey, because hero's journey has been pretty much a 7-star unlock, reasonable gear. You don't need to go anything crazy with mods, and then enjoy the story as a reward of you getting those characters to 7-star. And so I'm hoping they keep that up, but no way of knowing.
But I mean, the reason why I was saying that is because with their recent take on increasing difficulty and, giving the opposing team starts with full turn meter or insanely high speeds on the opposing team and stuff like that yeah.
The eye of the tiger. Sorry, I'm still in that mode.
All right. Well, then we'll go to the next question.
Sure. Which
is for Ranger. Any crucial advice to a new Battlefront 2 player?
Start with don't start with Galactic Assault and don't start with heroes versus villains. Start with the smaller squad missions that you can do. Not it's been a while. I'm going blank. The 8v8 is the one you want to do. I'm going completely blank. What is wrong with me?
It's called Destroy or something.
There's one where you got to protect cargo. It's not cargo. It's the other one, and I can't remember. It's the squad battle. It's 8v8, and level up your characters. Get used to the game there. It's not as hardcore. It's not as intense. Blast. There you go. Blast. Start with Blast. Work on gearing your weapons and gearing your characters and your star cards. Get familiar with the game doing Blast. You can do Galactic Assault, but you're going to get uber ponage being in there because you got guys that like me that are level 70 that have all the star cards that are purple and stuff. And then work your way to here. HVV is really good because HVV you pick a hero or a villain for each one. I recommend Vader as your starting villain that you work on. He's really easy to use. Phasma's a secondary one you can use if Vader's pick because she's really easy to use. For light side, JTR is your first one you want to try to get used to. And then go with one of your shooter ones. Chewbacca's super easy. And he's super fun to play. So you start with those two. But try them all out just to see what you feel like. But once you get an idea, you pick it and you just deal with it. When I started, I picked Officer. I worked on Officer till I had at least them at a range where it was purple card level, so that when I was fighting, I had somewhat of a chance to do something. So do that, and you'll get a lot more faster battles with Blast. You'll get a lot more credits. It'll help you out with your leveling and stuff.
All right. Let's see. Next question from Hellenix from Uwal Corellia. And question is, without the possibility of using Bosk and having Boba, IG-88, Zam, and Dengar Gear 11, Greedo at Gear 9, and Cad Bane at Gear 8, do I even have a shot at the Tier 7 of the Chewie event? Do I have enough time to gear up any of these tunes high enough to even have a shot without spending cash? Should I give up and focus on KOTOR farming alone?
You should never give up, but you have to.
He has 4 at Gear 11.
Yeah.
I think he can. He's running the Boba lead, and he has Zam at Gear 11, so he has that going for him. His Greedo's at Gear 9, so that one is the one that maybe you want to bring up a little
Yes.
bit. And
Well,
you definitely have to move mods.
He can get away with a lower geared Greedo because Greedo's only there to control Han's turn meter.
Yeah, and his thermal detonators are disgusting though, because
If he's too weak, though, he's going to die from the AoE.
Right, the AoE, like you're seeing with me, it's a gear check. You gotta have to even have a fighting chance. You have to have gear 10 because without it, they die. They die too fast from the AoEs and stuff. I mean, they
Too
just
much
go down.
RNG.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I've noticed watching the videos of people doing this event is don't use AoEs until Chewie's dead because
You're just getting the
Rolo
counter.
feeds turn meter to everybody when they resist stuff. So if you're using AoEs and they're resisting, that's what's feeding turn meter to everybody.
Science.
Mm-hmm.
Science.
All right. Next question from Malin87. With the Bounty Hunter rework, they seem extremely difficult to beat. Can you beat with Treya? Or you can beat it with Treya, but it takes a long time. In Territory War, do you see this being a new wall team? What teams are best in Territory Wars? Oh, he meant Night Sisters, not
Right,
Bounty Hunters.
Right. I mean,
I
they
think they're
still
still
get
beaten
owned
by-
by troopers.
Mm-hmm.
So actually more so now than before because it pretty much you kill any of the Night Sisters and Zombie brings them back. So
I mean, you're just feeding cooldowns and turn meter to that team. So yeah, Troopers is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change very much. Now, I think you will, to the question, see more Night Sisters with Enfys Nest, I think, hopping up on defense. I think
Or
you are
Wampa.
going to see more of that. Yeah, or Wampa if they don't have Enfys. I mean, something like that is what I suspect you'll see more.
I
But-
ran into one that they were using Holdo as the Dazer.
Interesting. That's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre.
All right, well, there you go. So, yeah, I think it's going to be the fifth.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a full Night Sister team. It's going to be 4 Night Sisters plus a 5th character that provides some utility. A counter attacker is one of the more common. It helps to stop the Snowtrooper chain.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Snowtrooper chain will then, because you get a daze or something like that. So it's I think you, especially in this first territory war, people will be testing it. So it would not surprise me to see more. Next question, Kazekage to Easy question. Ranger, did you watch Arnold's video on him unlocking the 7-star Chewbacca?
No.
Yeah, he put out a, what do you call it, a free-to-play guide in order to unlock Chewbacca or something like that. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
I've been a little busy, so sorry. No.
Yeah. But it's more fun. Why would you want Ranger to have the knowledge on how to beat it?
It's not lack of knowledge, guys. I can see that right now. It's
Yeah, see, it's not lack of knowledge. Just come and enjoy Ranger failing.
it's just gear check and suffering.
Yeah, it is. Paul Morgan question, YouTube not allowing me to send a super chat without being a member.
Oh, did you? You forgot to turn that back on, didn't you?
I didn't turn it back on.
Oh,
We turned it off
whoops.
yesterday during the stream because we're trying. Actually, I don't mind keeping it off right now. we're trying to get more money to the GoFundMe, right? So if you guys can, that's part of the reason why it's turned off. Hold on, let me turn on the GoFundMe. So the link is in the YouTube description, but we're trying to get more money to the GoFundMe. So yesterday when we were doing the stream, we had turned off the super chat. There's no point in turning it back on because it takes like 2 hours in order for it to like turn on and off anyways. It says like, again, something will happen in the next couple hours, and then we're going to be starting the other Ranger stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why it's turned off. We would appreciate the help with that in particular. So the GoFundMe link is in the description. Again, we're trying to get to Orlando for the charity event where we'll be running for the American Cancer Society. So any help you can provide us would be greatly appreciated.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. Next question as I bring up the log again. And Kazekage too easy question. Ranger, why'd they die so fast? My team lasts longer than that and they're weaker.
I don't know. Game hates me. What can I tell you?
All right. And last question from Mr. Penny Pinch. Question, how do I mod Treya? Depends on your mods. So you can mod Treya with speed set if you don't have good speed secondaries on your offense set. So you do need her to be fast, but she doesn't have to be like one of your fastest characters, for example. But it depends on what speed mods you have available to you and what speed secondaries you have on offense sets available to you. Offense and speed are her two kind of key things that you want to work on. But offense is more important, and timing your Treya with your Nihilus and making sure that she doesn't go before him is even more important. And so you want to make sure that your whatever your Nihilus is, right? So let's suppose your Nihilus is around like, I don't know, 240 speed or something like that. Even though Treya will be faster, you want her to be a little bit just around the same, maybe a little bit slower, so just around 140 or 240, 235, something like that, and then high offense. So a lot of the modding for Treya is going to be predicated on what you have on your Nihilus. Nihilus, you do want to get fast. You want Scion to be a little bit faster, but it all depends on what your other characters are, and so it's a whole chain of events, but speed and offense are the key things for her, with offense being a little bit more critical. All right. And let me just double check that there weren't any other questions that just came in, but I think... there we go. Michael J. has one last question for you, Ranger. What gear on Bounty Hunters will be needed for the Mythic Chewie event?
I think 45 would be...
I think it'll just be a repeat of the one that we have. I think they basically gave us the Mythic right there.
Yeah, except for the final tier where you will need Gear 13 Rebels.
Mm-hmm. All right, if that's it. Well, if it closes out, I'm too depressed because I know what's coming.
All right. So, thank you all for watching the lunch stream. We do this every weekday. That's not a holiday, so every working weekday from Mondays through Fridays at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, just about. Sometimes we go a little bit long, but it's typically during your lunch hour to entertain you during your work day and help kind of break up the monotony that I'm sure we all have. Then you also have the Wednesday night stream, which we do every Wednesday for coming up to 120 straight weeks, where we will be going through the news and notes from the past week and having fun and just giving you our opinions, and so you can prepare for the upcoming week. Then we have on Saturday morning, so tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., we have Jedi Academy, which is a pure question and answer stream where we answer your questions for about 2 hours, and you come with questions, we give you the answers, and we have a great group of panelists that include, what was it now? I think 50% more game changers. So we have Warrior, we have Ramon, we have T-Money, we have good old Maurice, and then also Jedi Master Adastra, and of course the brain damage of the RSG crew.
We are smart!
Yay! Okay, so that's the Jedi Academy. And so hopefully you guys can join us for that tomorrow at 10 a.m. And of course, Mike, are you going to be with us again tomorrow? I know you had scheduled stuff before. Oh, he left. Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. So Mike is sometimes there. Sometimes. He's there mostly. And then we have on tonight, so we'll talk about tonight in particular, at 5 p.m., we will be starting Rangers Attack.
5 p.m. What time? What time zone is that?
Eastern.
Okay.
Eastern.
5 p.m. Eastern, we will be starting once again the Ranger J 1999 versus Chewie stream, where Ranger will be attempting to get his 7-star Chewie. And so you guys can join us for that. Again, 5 p.m.
That's
Eastern.
right. And if you have a head as hard as Ranger J 1999, if you continue to hit it up against the brick wall, eventually the brick wall falls down. I'm just saying. It does happen.
That's science.
That is science right there. Love you, Ranger.
No, you don't. You're a piece of crap.
And then at 8 p.m., we will be doing Tits McVenum's roster review. And so I'm just waiting for confirmation from her before I create the event and then send it out. But it should be around 8 p.m. today. We'll be doing Tits McVenum's roster review. If you're a gold or a purple Patreon, you will get a message through the Patreon regarding the link in order to get to that video. And if you donate, so again, this is normally just for the Patreons. It is behind a paywall. We have to offer something to our patrons, and this is one of the fun things we thought of to offer to the patrons. But for people now, as kind of a limited time offer, if you donate $20 to our GoFundMe, which some people did, you can buy a ticket to the Tits McVenom roster review today.
That's a hoot.
So when you guys do the donation, put in your comment that you're doing it for the Tits McVenom roster review. If you go to our GoFundMe, again, the link is in the YouTube description. There are a few different options that you guys can use, or a few different options that you guys can buy. When we do the live stream with Ranger, you can spend $10, and Ranger will. It's no longer me because I got mine 7-star, but Ranger will put together a bounty hunter team.
Why are we even doing that anymore? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, Ranger dies with anything, so you guys can have fun with that. Then for $20, you can buy a ticket to Tits McVenom's roster review. For $25, we will give you guys, after the event, pictures exclusive just to you guys of the RSG crew during the event, and some probably even before the event, as we're doing training and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be exclusive pictures for you guys if you donate $25 for that. If you also want a different 25, can also get you a paragraph on our American Cancer Society page, which we are building out right now. And so if you guys have a story of something that affected you, you can help us get to the Cancer Society and share your story, which would be appreciated because we're trying to do this as a community event. And then lastly, $25, and I will help you remod 5 of your characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And after we are done with the lunch stream, I'm actually doing that with someone that donated. So yeah, there we go.
All right. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out our Patreon. And I think that's it. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we'll see you at 5 p.m. Eastern. Should be fun. And have a great rest of your day. I'll let you later.